This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to Pulse of Africa. I'm Fron Namak. We cover inspiring stories and key moments shaping Africa. We start with Ethiopia. Ethiopia has prioritized the establishment and strengthening of institutions capable of realizing the country's long-term aspirations, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said. A conference dedicated to evaluating the performance and efficiency of major national financial institutions was held under the theme Finance Forward Ethiopia. The event provided a platform to reflect on Ethiopia's ongoing economic reform journey and to define priorities for the future. At the forum, leaders of Ethiopia's principal financial and regulatory institutions presented performance reports highlighting the country's recent economic progress. Following the presentations, a discussion was held. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed addressed questions from the participants and highlighted the government's achievement as well as its key focus areas. He acknowledged that the series of economic reforms launched since he took office in 2018 have positively altered Ethiopia's economic trajectory. These reforms were designed to address long-standing challenges including macroeconomic imbalances, a heavy debt burden, foreign exchange shortages, and market instability. In a result, Ethiopia has recorded tangible outcomes and emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. The first and second homegrown economic reform program have laid the foundation for strong and modern institutions and introduced innovation and efficient strategies to boost government revenue. Government revenue has grown significantly since the reform began, with notable progress in tax collection. The adoption of digital systems has strengthened transparency and accountability, leading to widespread use of electronic tax filing and payment. Overall, the revenue sector has shown remarkable improvement in recent years. The government has introduced reforms that have contributed to macroeconomic stability. Inflation declined from over 30% in June 2019 to 9.7% by December 2025, while foreign exchange reforms have helped increase currency availability and narrow the gap between official and parallel market rates. The Prime Minister underlines that such drastic changes would not have been achieved without the government's bold and wise decisions. As part of its broader reform agenda to modernize the economy and harness abundant national resource, Ethiopia has also established key institutions such as the Ethiopian Capital Market Authority, Ethiopian Investment Holdings, and the Ethiopian Communication Authority. These institutions are playing a pivotal role in strengthening market governance, attracting investment, and unlocking the country's untapped economic potential. Prime Minister Abiy acknowledged that despite the visible gains achieved through the reform, Ethiopia has yet to fully realize its economic potential. He stressed that future efforts must focus on unlocking the country's vast untapped resources to sustain inclusive and long-term growth. The African Group has called on UN member states to renew their commitment to multilateralism and deliver concrete outcomes for developing countries as the General Assembly resumed its 80th session. Delivering a statement on behalf of the African Group, Ambassador Matete Nena, Permanent Representative for Lesotho to the United Nations and Chair of the African Group for January, welcomed General Assembly President's priorities for the session and reaffirmed Africa's readiness for constructive engagement. Ambassador Nena aligned the African Group with the Group of 77 and China, stressing that the session takes place at a critical juncture for multilateralism. He said that the President's team, Better Together, reflects Africa's long-held view that global challenges cannot be addressed in isolation, particularly as the United Nations marks its 80th anniversary, highlighting Africa's present challenges. The ambassador pointed to the impact of climate change, food insecurity, ongoing conflict, unsustainable debt, and limited access to health services and development finance.
We meet at a time of unprecedented challenges. Conflicts ravage multiple regions, including our continent. The climate emergency intensifies. Poverty and inequality persists, threatening decades of development gains. In this context, Africa remains firmly committed to the United Nations and the purposes and principles enshrined in its charter. On peace and security, the Africa Group notes with concern that the continent continues to bear a disproportionate burden of conflict and humanitarian crisis. From the Sahel to the Horn of Africa, millions of our citizens suffer the consequences of instability. The group calls upon the Secretary General to intensify support for Africa-led peace initiatives and genuine partnership with the African Union and regional economic communities.
This, he noted, are worsened by growing global fragmentation, underscoring the need for genuine international cooperation, predictable finance, and respect for national development priorities. The African Group identified several key opportunities during the resumed sessions, including the high-level meeting on HIV/AIDS scheduled for June 2026, calling for ambitious targets and sufficient resources to end the epidemic by 2030. It also underscored the existential importance of the high-level meeting on sea level rise, urging action-oriented outcomes on adaptation, loss and damage, and climate finance.
On sustainable development, the Africa Group is deeply concerned that with less than 5 years to the 2030 deadline, progress on the Sustainable Development Goals remains inadequate in Africa. The COVID-19 pandemic, climate impacts, rising debt levels, and geographical tensions have reversed development gains. We therefore call upon the Secretary General to ensure that the United Nations system prioritizes support for developing countries in accelerating progress towards the SDGs. The commitments made in the Seville commitment must be translated into concrete actions, and the international financial architecture must be reformed to address unsustainable debt burdens and ensure adequate access to concessional financing for African countries. On climate change, Africa remains the most vulnerable continent to adverse climate impacts, despite contributing the least to global emissions. We call upon the Secretary General to continue advocating for ambitious climate action and adequate climate finance.
On global health, the group stressed that the high-level meeting on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response must strengthen health systems in developing countries and ensure equitable access to medical countermeasures. Ambassador Nina emphasized the importance of implementing the Pact for the Future, recalling Africa's long-standing demand for permanent representation on the UN Security Council, as outlined in the Eswatini Consensus and Sirte declarations. He also called for reforms to the international financial architectures and measures to close the digital divide. On UN reform, the African Group cautioned that efficiency measures under the UN 80 initiative should not undermine mandates critical to development, pledging constructive engagement to protect African interests.
In Ethiopia, more homes and businesses now have access to electricity. Access to power supports education, healthcare, and local businesses. Light changes lives.
A new chapter in Algeria's peace capabilities unfolded this morning with the successful launch of the Alsat-3A satellites. The launch, observed by Lieutenant General Said Changira, Chief of the Staff of the People of National Army, took place from the Jiquan Satellite Launch Center in northwestern China. According to a statement released by the Ministry of National Defense, the Alsat-3A mission commenced at 5:01 a.m. Algerian time or 12:01 p.m. China time and was executed flawlessly. The successful deployment marks a significant advancement in Algeria's capacity for remote sensing and geospatial intelligence. Alsat-3A is designed to provide Algeria with high-resolution satellite imagery, bolstering the nation's monitoring capabilities. This advancement This advanced technology will significantly enhance the country's geospatial intelligence infrastructure, offering valuable data for various applications. The satellite's capabilities extend to the creation of detailed maps, digital elevation models, and other critical geospatial information. This enhanced data will support informed decision-making in areas such as urban planning, resource management, environmental monitoring, and national security. The mission represents a significant investment in Algeria's technological advancement and its ability to independently gather and analyze vital geospatial data. Following this achievement, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mahmoud Ali Youssef, congratulated Algeria on the successful launch of the Alsat-3A observation satellite, marking a significant advance in Africa's space and geospatial capabilities. This achievement underscores Algeria's leadership in space science and its commitment to harnessing satellite technologies for sustainable development, environmental monitoring, disaster risk reduction for uninformed policy making, stated. Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, said the Nigerian government is positioning the country as a leading solid minerals hub in Africa and a key global partner in minerals essential for transition to green energy. Speaking during his meeting with Ibrahim Al-Karouf, the Saudi Arabian Minister of Industry and Mineral Resource ahead of the Future Minerals Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Alaki said that it was the key reason for the current emphasis on the establishment of the lithium processing and gold refining facilities across Nigeria. He explained that Nigeria's value addition policy was already producing the desired outcomes, as a high-purity gold refinery is now operational in Lagos, while there are additional refineries at various stages of development. Alaki said a $600 million lithium processing plant was ready for inauguration in Nasarawa State in northern Nigeria. He commends Saudi Arabia for its role in promoting collaborations among countries in Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Europe through the FMF, while expressing Nigeria's eagerness to deepen its partnership with the kingdom. There are areas where Saudi Arabia excels and other areas where Nigeria has advantages. Responding, Al-Karaef said that the Saudi Arabia was also interested in long-standing partnership with Nigeria and called for practical and actionable agreements on solid mineral developments. The African Center for Disease Control and Prevention, African CDC, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Informa Markets, a global leader in events and data services. The partnership will strengthen Africa CDC International Conference on Public Health in Africa and other flagship public health events. African CDC Director General Dr. Jan Kasai and Informa Market President for Middle East, India, Turkey, Africa, Peter Ho, signed the agreement. It combines Africa CDC's scientific leadership with Informa's expertise in managing large-scale events to enhance the reach, quality, and sustainability of Africa's top public health platforms. This partnership reinforces Africa CDC's commitment to continental ownership of public health priorities, said Dr. Kaseya. He noted that CPHIA has become a critical forum for African experts and leaders to shape the continent's health security agenda. Under the agreement, Informa Markets will leverage its global experience to elevate CPHIA's visibility and impact across Africa and internationally. The collaboration also supports African CDC's 2023-2027 strategic plan and the African Health Security and Sovereignty (AHSS) agenda. Peter Ho highlighted the shared vision, saying the partnership ensuring CPHIA 2026 delivers lasting value for Africa's public health ecosystem, drawing on over 50 years of Informa's global healthcare event experience. Since its first edition in 2021, CPHIA has grown into Africa's leading forum for public health dialogue, policy alignment, and scientific exchange. The fifth edition, CPHIA 2026, will be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, attracting thousands of delegates from across the continent. Moving on to business news, Zambia as a stock market has surged to second place globally in 2026, driven by record copper prices and strong economic growth. The Lusaka Security Exchange's benchmark index is up nearly 70% in dollar terms, outperforming most African peers and trailing only Bulgaria, Colombia, South Korea, and Turkey are so far this year. Copper prices, Zambia's top exports, have climbed above $13,000 per ton, while domestic energy supply has improved and agricultural output has rebounded after a severe 2024 drought. The International Monetary Fund projects economic growth to rise to 6.4% in 2026 from 5.8% in 2025. This recovery has translated to strong performances in equities with companies like Standard Chartered, Zambia Unit, and Pamzord Hotels. The Zambian kwacha has also strengthened almost 12% against the dollar since January 2026, marking it the world's best performing currency. This trend reflects renewed investor confidence and improved macroeconomic conditions, including better fiscal discipline and stronger mining sector. Headlining the sports news, the Total Energy CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 has recorded the strongest commercial performance in the tournament's history, with competition revenue rising by more than 90%, the Confederation of African Football said. CAF attributed the surge to expanded media rights, entry into new international markets, and a sharp increase in commercial partnerships, positioning AFCON as a global football property. The number of sponsors has grown steadily, rising from 9 in Cameroon 2021 to 17 in Côte d'Ivoire 2023, and reaching a record 23 sponsors for the Morocco 2025 edition. CAF said a data-driven strategy adopted after AFCON 2023 helped identify high-growth markets including China, Japan, Brazil, and key European countries, boosting sponsorship and broadcast revenue. The tournament has also expanded into digital innovation with the launch of AFCON, marking CAF's first entry into esports and further strengthening the competition's long-term commercial prospects. Ethiopian runners dominated the 42-kilometer full marathon at the 2026 Doha Marathon by Ooredoo, held today along Doha's iconic Korinchi. The race, a World Athletic Global Gold label event, attracted elite long-distance athletes from around the globe and witnessed record-breaking performances. In the men's race, Olympic and world champion Tamara Tola stormed to victory in 2 hours and 5 minutes and 40 seconds, setting a new course record with an average pace of 2 minutes for 58 seconds per kilometer. Fellow Ethiopian Asafa Boki with a 2 hour and 5 minutes and 55 seconds, and Boki Dereba 2 hours, 6 minutes and 26 seconds completed the podium, marking a full Ethiopian sweep of the top 3 positions. Tola, reflecting on his win, said, "After 35 kilometers, I struggled a bit because of the windy conditions near the ocean side, but I managed to hold on to the victory. The flatness of the course helped me maintain a strong rhythm despite the last 7 kilometers. On the women's side, Tigist Gazahing led on an all-Ethiopian podium, crossing the finishing line in 2 hours and 21 minutes and 14 seconds, achieving a personal best in the process. She was followed by compatriots Tigist German with a 2 hour 22 minutes and 33 seconds, and Muluhabet Aga with a 2 hour 23 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's take a look at the current weather forecast across Africa. That's all for this hour. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.
Imagine a place where you can rise high above, a place where you can find peace, comfort, and wellness. Imagine a place where you can rise to Cloud 9. Directly connected with Addis Ababa and the Bole Airport by high-speed rail, the new Bishoftu International Airport is a central node of a new regional transport system. Its vibrant airport city creates strong investment opportunities beyond the terminal itself. The new airport is home to Ethiopian Airlines, the award-winning Star Alliance carrier. Carefully tailored to Ethiopians' needs, Bishoftu Airport provides a world-class travel experience with a special focus on transfer traffic as the global hub of Africa. Every traveler passing through the Bishoftu Airport has a unique experience of Ethiopia. The terminal is bright and airy, with luscious, open-air gardens accessible on the airside, landscaped with trees and local vegetation. You can touch Africa with your own hands. The most discerning travelers and loyal passengers have access to the Cloud 9 Lounge within its own dedicated building at the center of the terminal, featuring exclusive dining, rest areas, spa, and a gym. The terminal's interior is planned as a set of buildings within the main structure. Together, they form a small city. Each neighborhood is defined by a set of volumes containing shopping, dining, and airside hotel accommodation. Efficiently constructed as a modular kit of parts, the new terminal is cost-effective and flexible, providing a long-term return on investment for the nation. The new airport at Bishoftu is a microcosm of Ethiopia, drawing from the colors, textures, and materials of different corners of the country. Different regions characterize each terminal pier, centered around the central spine of the Great Rift Valley. Arriving at Bishoftu Airport means a warm welcome to Africa, with the embrace of Ethiopian hospitality and immersion into the airport's lush gardens, providing respite from a long journey as you wait for your bags. Naturally ventilated, semi-enclosed spaces minimize energy consumption. A LEED Gold-rated building, Bishoftu International Airport is the most climatically optimized terminal in the world. The new Bishoftu International Airport, a new gateway to Ethiopia, the crossroads of a continent, and a gleaming portal from Africa to the world. Imagine a place where you can rise high above, a place where you can find peace, comfort, and wellness. Imagine a place where you can rise to Cloud 9. Directly connected with Addis Ababa and the Bole Airport by high-speed rail, the new Bishoftu International Airport is a central node of a new regional transport system. Its vibrant airport city creates strong investment opportunities beyond the terminal itself. The new airport is home to Ethiopian Airlines, the award-winning Star Alliance carrier. Carefully tailored to Ethiopians' needs, Bishoftu Airport provides a world-class travel experience with a special focus on transfer traffic as the global hub of Africa. Every traveler passing through the Bishoftu Airport has a unique experience of Ethiopia. The terminal is bright and airy, with luscious, open-air gardens accessible on the airside, landscaped with trees and local vegetation. You can touch Africa with your own hands. The most discerning travelers and loyal passengers have access to the Cloud 9 Lounge within its own dedicated building at the center of the terminal, featuring exclusive dining, rest areas, spa, and a gym. The terminal's interior is planned as a set of buildings within the main structure. Together, they form a small city. Each neighborhood is defined by a set of volumes containing shopping, dining, and airside hotel accommodation. Efficiently constructed as a modular kit of parts, the new terminal is cost-effective and flexible, providing a long-term return on investment for the nation. The new airport at Bishoftu is a microcosm of Ethiopia, drawing from the colors, textures, and materials of different corners of the country. Different regions characterize each terminal pier, centered around the central spine of the Great Rift Valley. Arriving at Bishoftu Airport means a warm welcome to Africa, with the embrace of Ethiopian hospitality and immersion into the airport's lush gardens, providing respite from a long journey as you wait for your bags. Naturally ventilated, semi-enclosed spaces minimize energy consumption. A LEED Gold-rated building, Bishoftu International Airport is the most climatically optimized terminal in the world. The new Bishoftu International Airport, a new gateway to Ethiopia, the crossroads of a continent, and a gleaming portal from Africa to the world.
Ethiopian Airlines is building Bishoftu International Airport, Africa's largest and most advanced hub, to address logistical challenges and promote economic growth. Once finished, it will improve regional connectivity, boost trade, and strengthen economic ties across Africa. This project is crucial for Ethiopia's and the continent's development. In today's roundup, we look into the significance of Bishoftu International Airport to Ethiopia and the broader African continent. I'm your host, Gamachisa Mandida, joined by Barakat Sisai. Stay tuned. Hello, Barakat.
Hello, Gamach.
Yeah, I'm very happy that today we are addressing the Bishoftu International Airport, which is, of course, the biggest, which is to become the biggest airport in Africa. And let's begin with the strategic geographical location of Bishoftu International Airport. How do you think it benefits Ethiopia and the African continent?
Thank you very much, Gamachis. As you have said in your introduction, so this is one of the mega projects that Ethiopian government has been able to achieve in recent time. As we have remember, this project was launched by Ethiopian Prime Minister last week, and it's going to be constructed in the Bishoftu town, which is 40 kilometers away from Addis, which is very much near to the capital city of Africa. As we know that Ethiopia is, specifically Addis is the capital city of Africa, next to that of New York and that of Brussels as well. And this airport is going to be constructed at the greenfield of Bishoftu. As we can understand from the video that we have seen before we begin this discussion, the place is a bare land. We haven't seen any buildings, any kind of modern activity around the place where the airport is going to be launched. So this project is going to be one of the biggest airport projects in Africa, but also one of the among the few biggest airport in the world as well. And it will enhance the Ethiopian Airlines crews. At the same time, it will enhance the hub of Addis as connecting dots between Africa to that of the Middle East to that of the Asia, Africa between Africa and that of Europe. At the same time, Africa between the American as well. And we are talking about the Ethiopian Airlines, as we know that since its inception back in the 1915, since it's launched as airlines in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Airlines has been registering a very amazing growth performance. And one phenomena that we can associate with Ethiopian Airlines is there is a positive trajectory. Most of the time, Ethiopian Airlines has been on a steady growth. We haven't seen such a kind of company that has always registered such a kind of growth. And this project also add to that positive trajectory as well, and it will enhance its connectivity capacity, not only in Africa but also across the world. As we know that Ethiopian Airlines by now has more than 130 destinations spanning across 80 countries across the world, and at the same time it has also more than 120 fleets, including the latest one, the Airbus, something like this one. So Ethiopian Airlines has been growing its capacity from time to time, and this one also add to that momentum as well. And if you look at its positive impact and its ripple effect to the Ethiopian economy and that of the aviation sector across Africa, it has a lot. it has a lot of positive impacts, specifically in Africa. The first one is going to be it will create thousands of jobs for Ethiopians, both at the construction at the same time when it starts operation as well. You know, the project is it's very much big, and it's not a kind of airport that we know like in different part of the world. Like this is going to be the airport city as well. It's integrated different kind of the city amenities, city service as well, you know. So the construction is going to be very huge. Even if you look at the budget which is allocated for this construction of this big airport is around $12.5 billion, which is a large amount of money. So the project is very much huge. So the job opportunity which is going to be created by this project is very much huge. So that's one of the benefits. And this kind of benefits is going to be, as you know, that one of the most important elements in economic development is, I think, logistic. You know, whenever you might have like manufacturing, you might have like a good agricultural development, but if you don't have just the seamless logistic service, the one that can like ship one product or item from one place to another, you know, things may not working like in a way that can actually satisfy your interest. So in this case, the Ethiopian Airlines will play an important role in terms of just creating a seamless connectivity, seamless airport transport across Africa, across the world as well. And I think these are some of the most important immediate benefit that we can get from this international airport.
Yeah, this is, you know, a very ambitious project, as we can see. Yep. Billions of dollars have been invested into, or it's going to be, you know, invested. These billions of dollars are going to be invested into this project. It's a huge project, and of course it's unprecedented. And well, we have this Bole International Airport in the capital Addis Ababa, but we can see that Bole International Airport has no more space, you know, to expand. It has utilized, you know, all the space available to it. And now then if the Ethiopian government or the Ethiopian Airlines needs to expand its territory in terms of, you know, having, you know, such a big international airport, then it needs to be, you know, looking for elsewhere than, you know, Addis Ababa. And that is, you know, one important thing. So we can see Bishoftu has enough space, adequate space, you know, to entertain this project. And the other thing is, of course, people say that this project, the fact that, you know, it's being the fact that, you know, this airport is built in Bishoftu town, it gives it, you know, a very good advantage in terms of, you know, fuel consumption for Ethiopian Airlines, because, you know, it is a lowland, and of course the amount of fuel that the planes consume is likely to be, you know, very low compared to the one, you know, in Addis Ababa. And strategically, you know, this place will give, you know, big advantage for the airliner. Yeah. Yep. And of course, as you said earlier, of course, this Bishoftu airport, it's as huge as anything, and it consumes, of course, this project billions of dollars. And this is, you know, something new, not only to the country, but also to the African continent. And why is it that, you know, Ethiopian Airlines is building such a huge project? It shows that, you know, of course, Ethiopia wants to change, you know, just the way it has been utilizing, you know, this Bole International Airport. That is very much obvious. And it wants to expand, you know, its reach to many other African countries. Not only that, it wants to go beyond. Like, you know, of course, both Bishoftu and Addis Ababa are strategically, you know, very important places. And we see that Bishoftu itself is, you know, near the capital city, the economic hub, the political hub of, you know, Ethiopia, or we can say, of course, the seat of the African Union. And many international, global, regional institutions sit here. And the fact that, you know, of course, this Bishoftu International Airport is only 40 kilometers away from the capital city, Addis Ababa, will give it an advantage for people from all over the world, including in many parts of Africa, to utilize it, you know, very much or very well. And we can see that, you know, this airport has of course, the capacity, or it will have the potential to be able to utilize, other means of transportation. For example, roads, railways, logistic centers. All these can be integrated to the airport, and of course, eventually, we'll have, a transport network that feed one another, that complement one another. So Ethiopia is, one of the countries that rely mostly on its agricultural produces. And these roads, will feed, these agricultural products to the airport. And then from the airport, you can send your products, coffee, for example, to different parts of Africa and beyond. And so I believe that, this airport is going to be bringing, a lot of benefit, not only for Ethiopia, but also for many other African countries as well. You may add.
Maybe like wanting to add on like what you have already mentioned about like the Bole International Airport will reach to its maximum level maybe the coming like next 2 or 3 years. By now Ethiopian Airlines is the Bole International Airport is accommodating around like 25 million passengers per year. So and the like 3 years down the line, the Bole International Airport will stop. I mean like accommodating like 40 something like this 1 million passengers per year would be like very much pressure for the Bole International Airport. So this is one of the major factors that led the Ethiopian governments to improve at the same time, or maybe like developing such a kind of big infrastructure. So this is I think one of the major reasons. And as you know that Ethiopian Airlines is one of the preferred airlines in the world as well. And Ethiopian Airlines specifically in the recent times has been receiving so many kind of international awards, both on the passenger at the same time like the cargo service which deliver to the international travelers as well. So this actually tells you that Ethiopian Airlines doesn't have any option unless otherwise to develop or expand its capacity and to become one of the leading airline in the world, and this international airport is going to be one of the big airlines which is going to be compatible with such as the Dubai International Airport, the London, the Heathrow Airport, something like this one. Because as we have discussed about, this airport is not only the airport, but also is going to be an airport city, which accommodates different kind of service. So I think it is one of the big achievements that Ethiopian government has been achieved in recent times. That's what I want to add.
Obviously. Of course, Barakat, when I just move to my second question, how do you think this Bishoftu International Airport, enhance Ethiopia's role as a regional aviation hub and, of course, contribute to economic diversification?
Yeah. As I've said, and you also trying to mention about like Ethiopia, just like other African countries, its economy is very much dependent upon the agriculture sector. For example, if you look at the products that we have been sending to the international market, and we get like a lot amount of foreign currency through coffee production. So this it tells you that the country's economy is much depend on the agriculture sector, just like other African countries. So these airlines would give Ethiopia the chance to diversify its economy. One of the major reasons why many of the African countries face a problem related to the weak performance of the manufacturing sector is because of the lack of transportation. For example, you produce something and you don't have a means to ship to another countries, maybe like within Africa or outside of the continent as well. When Ethiopian Airlines, the big airlines, begin, and when the travel cost is very much low, when the seamless activity or shipment of goods from one place to another place become very much seamless, the export-oriented manufacturing sector going to be thriving in Africa, specifically in Ethiopia as well. So it really gives Ethiopia the chance to diversify its economies, which is traditionally based on the agriculture sector, and it really gives the chance for Ethiopia to transit at the same time evolve toward that of the manufacturing or industrial base as well. So this is one of the benefits that I would like to mention when we are talking about the expansion of these.
But I want to add here, Barakat,
Yeah.
how about, the tourism industry?
Yeah.
The tourism industry will have, chance
Yes.
for development. Of course, tourists from all over the world can easily
Yep.
come to Ethiopia.
Yes.
And of course, if they want to visit, places in East Africa, they can use, this airport, the Bishoftu International Airport, of course, as an entry, so that, they can easily move to Eastern African countries.
Yeah.
And of course, the other thing is, of course, the facility. The facility in this airport are, of course, obviously going to be, advanced in many aspects. For example, we have green energy, we have, advanced hotels, services, very good services, of course, high quality services. And so this attracts, tourists, possibly, coming from different parts of the world. And of course, foreign direct investment is likely to be positively impacted, because as people have, the opportunity to come easily to Ethiopia and see really what's going on here. Well, Ethiopia is, one of the countries with, huge natural resources. And these natural resources, as we know, are not fully tapped yet. And one of the reasons is that, of course, infrastructure. These very simple infrastructure that have not been developed yet. So when people come to Ethiopia, using this airport, and then see the chances or the opportunities for doing trade in the country, then more people will have the opportunity to come to Ethiopia and then see what opportunities are available to them.
Yeah.
And that's a very good thing.
Yeah, it's not only for Ethiopia as well, but also other African countries as well. As we know that many African countries have abundant natural resources, and they have also many tourist destinations and tourist sites as well, which is actually been registered or listed under the UNESCO World Heritage List as well. But most of these areas, most of these places are actually remain inaccessible for, like, specifically for the tourists who are actually coming out of the outside of the continent as well. Now, having such a kind of big airport and the creation of seamless transportation between and among African countries and outside of the continent as well actually creates a good opportunity for the tourists to come to Africa to explore what Africa has in terms of tourism and then related sector as well.
Of course.
And at the same time, it also provides a means for business travelers to come to Ethiopia, to come to Africa, to look for and explore some of the business opportunities. Because, for example, like most of the investors still think Africa is, whenever they associate some sort of risk with Africa, because they don't have that much knowledge about what's actually happening on the ground. This is one of the reasons why they have like skewed knowledge about Africa, because they don't know Africa or Ethiopia in person, and such a kind of like smooth transportation will actually provide a chance for them to come to the continent. And then
how about Barakat, the import-export market? It will be enhanced very much, highly, because Ethiopian entrepreneurs, will have the chance to export their products easily to other countries, and at the same time, we can import, goods from other countries as well. And of course, we have, passengers, more passengers than ever. They can have, easy access to this air transport. That's, a very good thing. And of course, technology, as I said earlier, will be, facilitated very much because of, the presence of, such an airport, such an advanced airport. We can see that, of course, this airport is going to employ advanced technologies. For example, as a source of energy, we know that panels are used, and so we are very much likely to go away, from using, fossil fuels in the airport compound, and that, of course, is likely to replicate, elsewhere in the country as well. And this is, a very good thing.
Yeah, I think this is very much aligned with the Ethiopian government. Policy toward the environment. Ethiopian government is very much champion regarding the stewardship of the environment. And of course, Ethiopian Airlines going to be follow the suits when it's construct this big mega airport as well. And hopefully we'll see like the application or at the same time utilization of these renewable energy sources such as the solar panel and the wind turbine as well. And as we have said, this airport is not going to be airport alone, it's going to be the airport city as well. So they're going to be, I mean, like what we have seen in Addis, there are going to be some corridor development and some green spaces, green corridor development as well. And it will also enhance the quality of the air, and which also contributes for the well-being of the community surrounding the
Absolutely,
areas as well.
absolutely. I do hope that we'll say a lot about this airport.
Yep.
In the near future, it's going to make us astonished.
Yep.
Because this is a new thing, not only to Ethiopia, but also to the rest of Africa. And we can say maybe one of the best things the world can ever have. Barakat, due to time constraint, we wrap today's program right here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Viewers, thank you very much. Of course, we have mentioned a very important grand project. This airport is big. And we do hope that we'll be looking at new things that really astonish us again and again. We promise you to bring you these new things, new developments regarding the Bishoftu International Airport in the future as well. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.